recording? Okay. Hey guys, what is up? We are back with a new episode of the Vegan Visionary. So, guys, I know I've been gone for like maybe a year almost, or maybe even a year. So yeah, okay. So today I'm going to show you how we make fish tea. No, it's not actual tea, y'all. It's fish soup, but it's a Jamaican type dish. And of course, you know, we gotta make it vegan. So, first, I'm gonna show you what you need for this. You're gonna need some salt. You're gonna need some green peppers. I don't know if y'all can see that too well, but that's the green peppers right there. You're gonna need some tomatoes. You're also gonna need some tofu, which is at the very back there. You're gonna need some butternut squash, some onions, some plantains, some carrots, some kale, which is in that clear bowl there, some ginger, which is in that jar, some white pepper, some salt. You're also going to need some garlic and onions, which are in that silver bowl right behind that ginger there. And you're also going to need one habanero or Scotch bonnet pepper. I have a habanero. 2 bouillon cubes. I'm just using veggie bouillon because it's going to be a fishy kind of thing. And then you can use, if you want to use kombu or seaweed to get you a fishy taste, that's what I actually have in the cheesecloth there, is the kombu, which is like seaweed, but it's like a stiff kind of a sheet of seaweed. And I wrapped it in the cheesecloth because we're going to take that out at the very end. A couple of things you're going to need that are actually not pictured here. You're going to need 6 to 8 cups of water. And you're also going to need a seasoning blend of your choice, but to include some Jamaican allspice. It said, so, yeah. Alright guys, so we are back. If you can hear that sizzle, awesome. That means your pot's ready. So I went on ahead and heated up about 3 tablespoons of oil. You can use either coconut oil or vegetable oil. That's your choice. Let's go ahead and get started making this fish tea. So the first thing we're going to do is you're going to go ahead and start with your spices and your fish, which in our case, because we're making it vegan, y'all, is going to be tofu. As I said, I used silken tofu and some firm tofu. What I did was I first froze both of my blocks of tofu because that helps to get the air pockets built up in there, and then it is easier to get the moisture out. So I froze it overnight and then thawed it out the next day, took all of the moisture out of it, and now it's kind of got a meatier texture, if you will. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put in my bouillon cubes. You can use actual vegetable stock or fish stock or whatever you want to do. But again, we're veganizing it, so we're using veggie stock cubes. But you can make your own veggie stock. I just didn't have the time today, so yeah. So this is a nice little shortcut if you don't have the time or don't want to do that. So you're going to have your veggie stock cubes in there. And you're going to just mix that with the oil a little bit. It'll turn a little bit brown a little bit, and that is okay. Also, you're going to want to go ahead and add in your kombu, which is in your cheesecloth. And you'll mix that in too. Remember, you're going to take the kombu out, so it's just going to kind of hang out till the end. And we'll take it out at the very end of it. You're going to go ahead and put your spice mix in. Again, I will put all of these ingredients in the description box for you guys so that you can get all of the ingredients here if you want to try to make this. So I'm going to go ahead and put the spice mix in there. And you want to make sure you get all of it out. I just used my blender to grind all of my stuff up. And you're going to toast your spices for just a couple of minutes. Just until you can about smell it pretty nice. And it's going to turn brown, and that is okay. Remember that. So you're going to go ahead and add your tofu in. And I just add it in. And with your tofu, you're going to mix it into your spices here. And it'll kind of take on that spice flavor, and it'll get some color and all of that niceness. So, and it'll add a little moisture because we got most of the water out, but not all of it. So your tofu will go ahead and have its nice little tofu flavor. So I just like to start it like this, just to get the spices and everything kind of mixed in and melded together. So you go ahead and have your tofu start like that. And what I do is I go ahead and push my tofu to one side so that I can kind of put my vegetables in. So I let it kind of just cook and hang out a little bit at one side of the pan while I grab my veggies, which will go in here in just a few minutes here. So again, because this is vegan and we're using tofu instead of actual fish, it's not going to take us long to cook the tofu part of it. So yeah, I mean you could cook this for, I don't know, about 5-10 minutes just to get the moisture out of the tofu. But because I did my steps beforehand and I kind of froze it, got the moisture out, and I also kind of took the moisture out of it before I even started the video, so I've already kind of got my moisture off. So next, what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and want to start with some of your vegetables. Not all of them, but some of them. So I'm going to go ahead and add in my onions and garlic. Like that. That's just, your onions and garlic. And the garlic cloves, you're going to leave those whole just because, well, I don't really want a strong garlicky flavor, but if you want it strong and garlicky, by all means, chop it up, dude. So yeah, and with this layer here, you're just gonna put a little bit of salt on there and a little bit of pepper. I'm using white pepper. You can use black. I just had this white pepper in my pantry, so that's what I'm using. And then you'll go ahead and add also. Oh my gosh, guys, the pepper got me. Okay, so the pepper got me a little bit. But, yeah, so you go ahead and add your bell peppers in there. And just a little bit left. And I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of salt to that. It looks like a lot of salt, but guys, trust me, once this is done cooking, it's not going to be that much salt. It really isn't. And a little bit of pepper here. So now I've got the onions, the garlic, the pepper, the tofu. And I just needed that little bit of space there because I wanted some heat. I wanted the peppers and stuff to hit that hot pan. Yeah, it's all going to get mixed up, but, it's kind of cool to, get it in there. Get it started. I'm just going to let this cook a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and mix it all together now, just because I just wanted to show you guys a method to, get it kind of, started. So now I'm going to go ahead and add half of my water. You're only going to go ahead and add about 4 cups. Like I said, you're going to use about 4 to 6 to 8 cups. I'm just going to add half of my water right now. So that's about half right here. So you're going to let this, with your onions, your garlic, and your peppers, you're going to let this cook for a moment just to get the onions, garlic, peppers, all that good stuff. You're literally just going to let this kind of meld together for about 2 minutes. And after about 2 minutes, you'll add the rest of your ingredients and the rest of your water. Because this is going to cook for a while. I want to say it's going to cook about 30 minutes. At least because, well, for me, I don't know about y'all, but I love when stuff is just cooked for a while. It just tastes really, really good and just yummy. Like, that's just like the best thing. So I'm just going to let this cook and hang out for about 2 to 3 minutes. Just the tofu, the onions, the garlic, and the peppers. And when we come back, we'll add the rest of the ingredients and we'll keep it moving. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, so we're back. Now what you're going to do, you're going to go ahead and add all of your vegetables to your stew. I'm going to add everything into my fish tea. So I'm going to go ahead and put my butternut squash in. And then here I have my carrots and plantains. You could use a green banana, but plantains is what I had, so that's what I used. I'll get the rest of those out of there. And the next alright, so that's your carrots, your plantains, and your butternut squash. The next thing I'm going to add, I'm going to put my ginger in. It's roughly about a teaspoon or so. I think I'm using about a hefty teaspoon or so. I think that's enough. It'll make it taste good. Yay! Okay. Oh yeah, guys, fun fact. Ginger's actually good for the immune system. So, yeah. Have at it. So, I'm going to put the ginger in. And, yeah. So, we'll go ahead and stir this up and mix it in. You know, get all that mixed in. Yum, 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 yum. Yum, 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 yum. It all tastes really good. This is something that I've wanted to share for a long time, but it's taking me forever to perfect the recipe. So yeah. You know, for me, cooking is like, it's fun, but then it's like, I just love it so much. And I think I love cooking so much because, you know, you get to go different places when you cook food and try different things, you know? So, that's what I like about it. Yeah. So, at this point, you'll go ahead and add the rest of your ingredients, which are going to be your greens. You could use collard greens, spinach, kale, any kind of greens you want. I just had some kale, so that's what I'm using today. And the tomatoes, you guys, are actually for your garnish at the end. So I'm not going to actually put them in the pie, but they're for garnish so that, you know, at the end you might want a little bit of extra color. So tomatoes, yeah. So I'm going to just add a little bit more salt here and a little more pepper. And I do this because, y'all, season your layers, okay? That's very important. Anytime you're cooking, you want to season everything. Season everything. Because the moment you don't, what's going to happen? The food's not going to taste that great. So, season all of your layers. Now, the greens, these I'm not going to season only because they will actually pull all the seasoning from everything else. And they're, you know, greens are kind of bitter, so I didn't really want to put a lot of work into greens. So I'm going to just grab the greens and place those in there. And they're going to look, it's going to look like it's a lot of greens. It's literally only like a cup or whatever. And they're going to wilt down too, so yeah. That's a great thing about greens, but then it's kind of a drawback too. Greens, they wilt so bad, so yeah. And then one of the last ingredients we're gonna add before we put all this water is the pepper. Woo! This is a habanero. You can use a Scotch bonnet or a habanero. Basically, they do the same thing. They're both really teeny and super hot. Leave it whole if you want to pick it out and don't want to just, have a spice bomb all over your fish tea. I left mine whole because I know I cook for myself, but I also have friends that try my food, and yeah, they're not spice people like me, so yeah. But that's another story. We'll share another day when I make something else. I'll probably tell the story. I don't know. But yeah, so go ahead and put your pepper in there, and it'll just sit right on top in the middle. And from this point, what you're going to do, you're going to also go ahead and add the rest of your liquid, which is, for me, it's just water. You could use stock that you made homemade, but like I said, y'all, I didn't have time, so yeah. So I'm just going to go ahead and stir this in. Like I said, it's going to look like it's a bunch of stuff in there. But the greens are going to wilt down, everything's going to cook down, it's going to be delicious. So now, at this point, you just let this cook. I'm just going to leave it here. It's going to cook. And it takes about 30 minutes for it to cook all the way down. And once it's done, we'll come back and show you the finished product. So, Jamaican fish tea. Yeah. We'll come back with the finished product and do a taste test maybe. I don't know. But yeah, so I'll be back. We'll be back. And we're back, you guys. So this is the finished fish tea, or Jamaican fish soup, whichever you call it. They call it fish tea. So that's what I called it. Now, look at that. Oh, that looks so good. Ooh. So that's my fish tea. And y'all, I'll put the recipe in the description box, like I said. But y'all, you gotta try it. Look at that. It's so good. I just tasted the broth, and it's really delicious. So I can only imagine what this is going to taste like and how it's going to just be so yummy. But yeah, so this is my veganized version of fish tea. Definitely give it a try. Let me know if you try it. If you try it and you like it, let me know. But yeah, she's ready. And this is just, man, look at that broth. Look at that richness. Oh, it just looks so good. Like, see that? Oh, yeah. Ooh. Fish tea, you guys. Yum. Alright, so that about does it for this video. We will be back next week with a new video. And till then, vegan visionary. And I'm out. Peace.